Hi, welcome to Centerville Reports Today. I'm Maureen Russell-Hodson. The Centerville-Washington Foundation will be celebrating its Founders Award with two distinguished folks who are sitting right here next to me. And that is going to be on October 28th. Here to tell us more, we have those honorees, Bob and Berneta Daley, along with Carol Farquhar Nugent, who is with the Centerville-Washington Foundation. And thank you all for being here.
You're very welcome.
And I think folks have seen you all throughout the community for many, many years because you are such wonderful volunteers. And Carol, tell us, how does the foundation come up with the honorees every year?
Yes, this event, well, the foundation itself was started in 1998, and in giving grants to a variety of organizations in the community. But we felt it was important, in addition to the grants, to find people within the community who exemplified the philanthropic goals of the organization, as well as all of the volunteer work that our honorees have been involved in. And so this is the 11th year that we'll be celebrating that.
Wow.
And it's not only individual honorees like Bob Corwin or Marilyn McLaughlin,
Right.
people, these are familiar names, but we've also appreciated that it's as much couples that come together. And it's Shirley and Paul Heinz. Certainly Bob and Berneta exemplify the fact that they both are involved in their own way, but mutually together for the betterment of the community. So we're just delighted to be celebrating them this year.
We are too. I mean, we said Bob and Berneta Daley because I'm sure they're familiar faces to those of us who, you know, if you're watching as well, because your volunteer activities just go back so far. And I said before, Carol and I are going to have to share them because I know you two are so humble and you won't talk about it. But Vernita, first of all, I have to say, we just talked a couple weeks ago with the Centerville Women's Civic Club, and that's something you've been involved with, right?
Yes. Since I stopped working, I've been more active in volunteering. When I was working full-time, I would kind of limited in my time.
Yeah, that makes it a little tough, though.
She won't say.
Brag on her, Bob.
She worked for more than 50 years as a registered nurse.
Absolutely.
And I loved it.
Thank you all. I'm sure you were wonderful at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing. So you've been involved, so we said Centerville Women's Civic Club, former board member of the Centerville-Washington Township Historical Society, co-chair of the Victorian Tea and other fundraisers, Rec West Enrichment Center. In fact, we have a great photo of you still using your nursing skills at the former Heather Green, right, doing blood pressure checks, which is a really important service for people. And then I know you both volunteer at Incarnation Church in a variety of capacities as well.
Right.
I don't know, Carol, if you want to jump in on Bob, but we'll talk about Bob here too, which we were saying before we started, you were a volunteer here at MVCC in 1985, which we think predates most of the employees here. But he has been responsible for making sure that folks can watch our Centerville Council meetings for at least, what, 12 or 14 years?
About 12.
Yeah.
12.
So he was behind the scenes, making sure that mics were on and the right people who were speaking were being on camera and really directing those programs. And let me tell you, that in and of itself, some of those council meetings, 4, 5, 6 hours. I mean, it's a very big commitment where you're sitting in that room. Now, since you left, they've painted the room and upgraded it.
I think the record is 1 o'clock in the morning.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yes.
Just one of his things, but also involved with the University of Dayton's Irma Bombeck Writers Workshop, emeritus trustee with the foundation. So you were involved with the foundation and still are, but now as an emeritus member, right?
Exactly. And the interesting thing is, as we are all board members planning and implementing this wonderful event, we miss Bob terribly because in the past he's been the person who's handling all of this. So we can't invite him to be a part of that, but it just shows how many tentacles go out into the community with their involvement.
And I was going to say, in the list, Create the Vision, which you were involved with at the and then the Washington Township Future Government, that was the task force, the tax levy campaigns you've been involved with. Really, all the entities in our community you both have been involved with in some way. And that's incredible. And I have to say, you were saying, you know, you retired after 50 years. kind of time to take a break, but you two don't believe in that.
No, absolutely
Well,
not.
they're all worthy causes, and it's been great fun, and it's been interesting, and I've met a lot of good people.
Also, the Diversity Council.
Oh, that's, yeah.
They both have been involved with
Diversity
that, which
Council.
is
Martin
really an
Luther King
important,
breakfast.
yes, and that's always a sellout.
And so probably many more that were not even on our list here, but it's just incredible. And I agree with you. I think that when people look at, it's so hard to get volunteers now. It's a national issue where people just aren't volunteering anymore. And so when
Right.
But if they really realized the joy of participating and working on these projects, working on doing the television programs
Yeah.
for the city council, I was able to keep up with what was going on
Yes.
in the community, and it was great fun
That's
and a
right.
great learning experience.
And I guess for you too, Vernita, you just get great joy from volunteering?
Oh, yes. In fact, at Incarnation, we have the St. Vincent's Society, and we visit the less fortunate and do home visits for them. And there's a large group of people that really work very long hours to help the less fortunate.
Right.
And we do home visits. We have call takers, and they get the people call in when they need help, and then the home visitors go to visit them. And there's someone going out 5 days a week.
And you really can see how you're making a difference in the
yes,
community.
Yeah, people
Really, as we said,
appreciate
with everything that you touch.
One time I went, this lady had a sew machine, and she didn't know how she was going to do it. She couldn't thread the needle. She got it from her grandmother. So I said, "Oh, okay, I'll sit
my
down and
gosh.
show you."
Did you sew up a quick dress while you were there or something?
Yes, I wish I could.
That's amazing.
Well, and I have to tell the story on Bob because I think he has retired from the Kettering Foundation 4 different times.
Are you finally retired from there for sure? No, he's not.
Well, now that you brought it up, when I came to the foundation in 1977, Carol was there, and she retired, and then spent 10 years or so with the grant makers and aging, and retired from there and came back to town. And she was recruited to be what's called at the foundation an associate. And
Yes.
I retired. My wife helped me clean out the office at the end of 2012. And we got a call from the boss early in January the next year, said he still had a couple of things he wanted me to do. So Carol and I have planned. We haven't done it yet because we need to find a photographer. At the street where the foundation is, down off Far Hills, there's a big sign that says "No Outlet." We're going to get our pictures taken.
Absolutely.
Well, give us an idea because you have a great background too, Bob. Just give us some idea of the different things you've done throughout your career
Well,
in terms of employment.
Sure. I started. I wanted to study journalism, and UD was my only option. I didn't have a journalism program, so I began as an English major, and I worked on the school newspaper and whatever. Beginning of my junior year, fall of 1953, the sports information director at UD, Pepper Wilson, sent me down to see Ritter Collette, who was a sports editor
yes.
for the morning paper, the Journal Herald at the time. He hired me as a copy boy in the sports department, and I worked there my last 2 years, as much as 30 hours a week.
Oh my gosh! While going to school.
While going to school, while my grades suffered, I learned about newspapers,
Yeah.
and I tried to figure out how Pepper Wilson. I'd never met him. I didn't know him. I didn't have anything to do with him. Somehow he got my name and gave it to Ritter, who hired a junior every year, so he had a junior and a senior through it. And I went in the Army and came back from 2 years later and got a job at a pretty good-sized newspaper, 150,000 circulation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a good place to start. And then I worked at the paper and went to. I guess 1968 was the first time Jack Gilligan running for the Senate. I'd been a student of his at Xavier in graduate school, and he asked me to work on a campaign in '68, and we beat Frank Lausche, a 5-term senator in the primary, and then lost in the fall. And Jim Fain, who was the editor of the other newspaper, the Dayton Daily News, saved my life. Here I was, married with a wife and 2 young kids, and out of work. And he called and hired me at the other paper. I will never forget that.
And I need to mention that as a part of celebrating this Founders Day event, people that Bob has known for really since he was 8 years old, and that knew you two before you were married, Mark Bernstein and Jack Darcy, are coming from California and Washington, D.C. to be there to help celebrate.
And let's make sure people know when this is, because it's on October 28th.
That's correct.
It's at the Golf Club at Yankee Trace. It starts at 5:30.
Right.
And people can still get tickets, right?
Yes, absolutely. You can go to the website. It's www.Centerville-Washington Foundation, all one word, .org.
Okay.
And yes, tickets are still available, and you can actually pay at the door as well.
Okay, it's a great way to come. And you were saying you two have been married for how long?
57 years.
57 years. I think the most important thing in this whole program is, what is the secret to that? 57 years. Congratulations, that's wonderful.
Oh, I know it's simple.
Yeah.
Smile and say yes.
Oh, that easy. Same thing for you.
Sure. Piece of cake.
Yeah, smile and say
Piece
yes.
of cake,
Okay, I'm going to try that all day.
We'll do it your way, baby.
And enjoy football and baseball, right?
Okay. And so we've been talking about the foundation a little bit, Carol, but tell us, what can people expect from the foundation? What's the foundation all about?
Right. The foundation, this is our major fundraising activity so that we can generate the funds to give back to the community. And we want to be a resource to other nonprofits that are in the community. We make grants twice a year. We're small, but we give to a variety of programs.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
For children, for seniors, for humanities, for the arts, for a number of just very broad. That's the nice thing about the foundation, is that we aren't so restricted. So we invite all of the nonprofits in the community to contact us and to really send us a grant request, and we'd like to work with anybody who's available in the community to help bring us all together. That's
And
our
that's
goal.
twice a year, right?
Twice a year.
So you can go in September 1st and March 1st. So if
That's
you're interested,
right.
you want to apply for the March cycle. And the best place to go really for all information is
Is,
Centerville-Washington
Foundation.org.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
And all of that is there, the applications, all of it.
And so then on the 28th, you're going to be able to see these folks, lots of your old friends. Are you prepared for this? It's going to be a lot of fun.
We're getting there. Let me just add to what Carol said. We're a small foundation. I do the annual reports, so these figures are in the front of my mind. Last year was a record year. We had $10,000 in grants. This year, 40% increase, $14,000.
Oh,
in
that's
grants.
wonderful.
It is
That is a big
wonderful.
increase.
Yeah.
And I know the
we're
city
not
of
there
Centerville,
yet.
but we've
yet.
had a lot of great organizations.
We're not there yet, but we're getting there. And I'm going to say this on the 28th. The last 2 recruiting classes, last 2 board classes we had were better than Urban Meyer's. We have recruited more. We have recruited better and higher level people, more engaged people in the foundation, and the sky's the limit.
All right. Well, wow, you heard it from Bob. The sky is the limit. So again, a good place to go for more information about the foundation is Centerville-Washington-Foundation.org. This event happens on October 28th at 5:30 at the Golf Club at Yankee Trace. I think on behalf of our community, we have to say thank you. And the thing is, you're not done volunteering. You're both still active and involved, and it just keeps going on. So I would say, what's the secret to volunteering? Why do it?
We all have an obligation. I think we all have an obligation to contribute to our community, and it's worth the effort.
It's worth the effort. Oh yeah, that's
And to keep busy.
keep busy, keeps
Yes.
you going, keeps
Keep
you active,
engaged,
and
right.
you're engaged and you meet lots of neat people.
Right.
Well, thank you all for sharing this information. We look forward to seeing you next Wednesday evening. You can always call the City of Centerville 433-7151 or visit our website, centervilleohio.gov. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.